for Watts, still in the Richkat Mobile Cigar Lounge. I feel like I'm on the way to becoming an aficionado. I started this thing as a novice, but I have just had a tremendous time meeting some interesting people, and one of those people with me today is Darry Simmons. How are you?
Well, and yourself, thank you.
I am doing fantastic. Good to have you here with us.
My pleasure.
Now, you are from South Carolina.
Absolutely.
How did you make your way from South Carolina to Washington, D.C.?
Long journey. By way of New York, after college, I moved to New York. Was there for about 5 years, and then one of my best friends that in college, he was here at Howard Dental School.
Mm-hmm.
And, used to come up to hang out and stuff like that, and kind of fell in love with the city and the Black power that was in New York, in D.C. And Howard being one of the makers, and that's where he was. Being introduced to a lot of powerful people on the rise to become, prominent people in the community and things like that. So I was drawn to it, and just the whole lifestyle of Black people in DC. So that was one of my motivating factors. Came here on vacation for my job one year and never went back.
So like, I like it here, I'm staying.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about what you do for a career. You have an interest in design, in building?
Well, I do real estate development. What we do is buy and sell residential. I have a, name of my company is the Simmons Group. That's the commercial side of my company. The PCMD, Precision Contract Management Development, is residential, where we buy and sell, acquisitions and different things like that. And then I have a company called At Settlement. What we do is, At Settlement was created out of the idea that I worked with a bunch of real estate agents who developers were coming in buying their house for minimum. So I came up with the idea that because they didn't have the money to get the max for their homes, what I did was fund the project, and what we would do, bring their house up to market so they can get the max amount for their property. Mm-hmm. And what I would do is get my money at settlement.
Oh, okay. So you improve homes, but you also sell real estate yourself.
Not sell, I develop.
You develop.
And yes, sell in secondary through real estate agents, yes.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah. Not mad at that whatsoever. How did you become a part of the cigar lifestyle?
Back in the day, my first cigar was a Baccarat.
A Baccarat?
Yeah, it's...
that sounds like a board game.
It was, I used to hang out at Republic Gardens when I,
Ooh, okay.
And just kind of trending, and different things were happening, and just kind of got into it and fell in love with it.
Alrighty. How did you meet Richkat?
It was at Chips, Capitol Hill Premium Lounge. Mm-hmm. We used to hang out there, started going there, got a membership. Definitely into supporting Black businesses, and he was one of the first Black owned cigar lounges in the city.
Right.
At that point, just kind of went there and fell in love with the place, and just met a lot of progressive people that were on the rise, up and coming, and the networking of it all just kind of took on a life of its own. And in that network, I met Ben Waleed, mm-hmm. and that's where it started.
Good stuff. So you've been smoking cigars for how long?
I've been here since '92. So around 95, 96. So
that's when you got fancy.
Yeah, look, I got my, in the South we call it high cotton.
High cotton.
Yeah. So when you arrive a little bit, you start to come into your own, and you're financially, mm-hmm. positioning yourself to be successful, and it derive out of that, and just finding something that you can make your own time, and just to enjoy and relax.
So it helps you relax. What else does cigar smoking do for you? Why is it your thing?
I do my best thinking. Smoking a cigar, kind of mellowing out, and I in fact, let me take you a little bit back. When I met Ben and Waleed, he had a cigar lounge in his basement.
Yes.
So out of that, when premium was getting ready to close, at my house, my garage we had a snowstorm and my garage had collapsed. Mm-hmm. So once premium closed, I decided that I was going to build my own cigar lounge.
Hey, okay.
So I have my own cigar lounge I was the second one in the little group, mm-hmm. in the group that we call it. We formed this little group called the Usual Suspects. Okay. And a bunch of us used to get together and just hang out and smoke and, and at the time I just invite the guys down to the boat. I own a boat.
Okay.
And they used to come down to my marina and we just just kind of set up and smoke and network and just talk and just really just kind of, escape for the moment, So it was incredible, pastime just to, unwind.
I noticed that's a Richkat in your hand, but what exactly are you smoking?
I'm smoking a Richkat. I think this is Nicaraguan blend.
Okay.
Most cigars Nicaraguans are known for its the soil and mm-hmm. The growth of the tobacco, and I think it's based on a Cuban seed. So Cuba is the motherland for the best cigars.
Yes.
But again, cigars are about variety. It's mm-hmm. about palate. It's almost like being a chef. Mm-hmm. Your palate, and you like, and you try different things, and you find what better suits you. Mm-hmm. So by doing that, you find what works for you. And I've always liked to venture out and exploring different things.
Right. So here's something that I would like to ask an aficionado, because I know, like with wine, sometimes people think that because it's expensive that it's better just because it's expensive. But as a person that really likes wine, I have some wine I like that's expensive, but then there's some that doesn't cost that much.
Absolutely.
That I absolutely love. And I was going to ask you, okay, yes, of course you like a good Cuban, but what cheap cigar do you like that just really does it for you?
I don't know if it's. I started out with one of the cigars that I smoke a lot was Rocky Patel's.
Okay.
Sun-grown. It's not necessarily cheap, but just you find a cigar that works and that's tasteful, a little spice. It depends on what you like. Everything's about preference and finding your way, to what works for you. It's just like wine. I agree with you. I don't subscribe to the idea that it has to be expensive to be good.
Right.
You like what you like, and and one of the rules in cigar smoking is never judge what someone else smoking and not trying to impose what you like on someone else. So it's a matter of preference.
Alrighty. Do you remember your first smoke?
Yeah, the Baccarat. We went to Montgomery, went out to Rockville on 350. Well, someone gave me a Baccarat and I liked the taste of it. And so I went out and bought a box of Baccarats from the cigar store in Rockville, right there off of 355 right there in the mall. And that was one of my first cigars.
But like, what were you doing at that moment? Was it just like, was it a monumental moment? You were partying?
I was partying, and it was, like I said, it was trending. Everyone was doing it, and I, just kind of took part. And I didn't know I would be, attracted to it like that, and end up really enjoying it. Just finding, a time where I just, doing nothing and being someplace where I could just relax and take in a good cigar and just kind of ease my mind, and I do my best thinking when I'm smoking a good cigar.
I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that at all. You can go right ahead and fire up. I don't want to hold you back. What I noticed too is that even though there are certain things that you're supposed to do when you fire up, each person kind of has their own method. Like I was talking to someone else and they did a dry pull first and then they toasted the foot because they just wanted to taste it.
Well, again, it goes back to, whatever your preferences are, whatever you like and whatever you enjoy. You know, it's about finding your way. It's, you know, smoking cigars is like art. Art has no form or structure. It just is.
It just is.
And you know, that's the compliment of it. You know, just really, just you know. I'm not a format kind of guy. I'm a firm believer in you know, one of the things about, you know, finding your way is about taking a little bit from everyone and making it your own, filtering out what's good and what's bad, and you know, kind of figuring out what's best for you.
Yes.
And you know, and that's and in that you find the definition of you.
And that's great life advice. So I got a little freebie from you right there. But to wrap things up, like, I love talking to interesting people, and people always have some sort of great insight to give. Before you leave us, Darry, can you give us one life hack? Well, a second life hack, because you just gave us one about finding your own way.
One of the things that I always say, love is art. No one can tell you how to love. No one can tell you how to receive it or give it. It's just you finding your way and enjoying and maximizing. You know, life. You know, there's no do-overs.
None.
This is not a dress rehearsal.
I love that song.
And at the end of the day, you know, that you find peace in whatever you do. Just journey. Just go where it takes you. Enjoy. And like a cigar, a good cigar. In any given night, you know, cigars, you smoking a good cigar and your thoughts and your mind is flowing and you're feeling some kind of way, and you just let loose and be yourself and not be dictated by, you know, the things or society and different things like that. Be you, and that's the most important thing. It's finding yourself and being yourself in everything you do.
You're so zen. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.